Hello. Today I would like to talk about a topic that might seem very theoretical at first, but it's actually present in everything we do when we speak, write, teach a language, and it's basic linguistics. In this semester, this course is part of our bachelor's degree in English language teaching, and its main purpose is to help us understand how language works, what its parts are, and why this knowledge is so important for us as a future teachers. Linguistics is a science that studies human language, in other words, how we communicate. It allows us to analyze everything from sounds we produce when we speak to the meanings and ideas we express. In simple terms, linguistics helps us understand how we use language and how we learn it. This is essential for any language teaching because knowing how a language works gives us the tools to teach it in a clearer, more logical, and more effective way. Throughout this semester and this course, we study the ideas of the great theorists. For example, Saussure is known as the father of the modern linguistics. He explained that language is a system in which every word has meaning only when it's part of a larger structure shared by a community. Later on, Chomsky revolutionized linguistics with his theory of generalism. He proposed that all humans are born with an innate ability to learn languages. Thanks to his work, we understand that teaching a language is not about memorizing structures, but about activating our natural capacity for communication. Now let's talk about a little more about the branches of linguistics. Linguistics is divided into several branches, and each one teaches us something different. For example, phonetics and phonology study sounds and how they are organized. Morphology focuses on how words are formed. Syntax explains how words combine to make sentences. Semantics deals with the meaning, and lexicology studies vocabulary. Each of these areas helps us better understand the details of the language we teach so that we can explain them more clearly to our students. And not only does this help us with teaching, this also helps us with learning. If we learn how words are formed, for example, with morphology and syntax, if we learn how these structures are, how these branches help us to create sentences in another language that we haven't learned or we are learning, well, it's a lot easier to think about that than to actually think about the language that we are learning. Excuse me. Okay. Now the supporting disciplines. These are also complementary disciplines that makes linguistics even richer. For instance, sociolinguistics studies how society influences language use. Psycholinguistics explores the mental process involved in learning or using a language. And pragmatics focuses on how language is used in different contexts. Like I was saying, if we learn how the structures of the sentences and how people that are native to another language, the language that we are learning, we will understand the language better and in a deeper kind of way. For example, here in Mexico, we usually use different expressions to say something that doesn't have to necessarily have some type of relation with the sentence that we are using, but the sentence that we are using is another way to express that. So that is where pragmatics enters. You're not using it as a logical way, but what we are saying means something else. We also study applied linguistics, which connects all this knowledge directly to a language teaching. Through it, teachers can design better methods, communicative activities, and strategies that truly meet students' needs. The values and inclusive approach. Another key aspect of this semester or this course. It's that it focuses on respect, equality, and inclusion. It encourages to use a non-sexist language, respect gender identities, and promote equal opportunities for everyone. Studying linguistics not only makes us more competent teachers, it also makes us more aware of the power of language. The power to include or exclude, to build respect or to create discrimination. That's why the subject teaches us to be empathetic, to listen and to value the linguistics and the cultural diversity for our students. In conclusion, basic linguistics is much more than just theory. It's a tool that allows us to understand how language works and how we can teach English in a more meaningful way. When we truly understand how people learn and use language, we stop being mere transmitters of the information and become guides in learning processes. Teachers who can adapt our classes to real human situations. And that's it from me. Thank you for listening. And I'm sorry, I'm a little sick.